Well, hello. I'm your home cook Joy, and welcome back to my rasoi, where I make things simple for both of us. So, in this video, we'll be making simple and spicy Bhindi Bhaji. It's called okra in English, ladies' finger sometimes. I have no idea why, but there you go. So, it's very nice, quick, and easy recipe. So, let's get right to it. I have taken about 500 grams of this massive okra here. That's the size we get here. I have washed them in the running water in the colander, and then in the cold water here I'm wiping them clean one by one. This is the bit where it takes longer, but once they are wiped clean, everything else is pretty much straightforward in this dish. So I'm gonna wipe clean all of them, and then I'm gonna start chopping them. There are a couple of ways you can slice or cut these okras. One of them is this, which is the dish I am cooking today, especially if you're planning on eating with your fingers with the chapati. It goes really well if you slice them smaller, not too big, purely because you don't want them to break in the process. And make sure that they're all cut in the same size. You can also slice them julienne, I suppose. But this goes well if you're planning on eating with tortillas or chapati as a wrap. It goes really well, it holds really well. I'm gonna add a couple of diced potatoes. Keep them slightly thicker, purely because we don't want them to go mushy or bland in the dish. So there we go. Heat up the oil in the pan nice and hot, and then I'm gonna add a spoon of Ajwain seeds. They're also called Carom seeds, I think, in English. Really healthy herb, lots of antibacterial properties to go with it. So do try them every now and again in your dishes. They taste really well as well. I think as close to thyme or oregano. They do smell like oregano or thyme, as close to them. Also, I'm gonna add fresh green chili. I'm gonna add frozen actually, but they were fresh when I freeze them, so they are fresh green chilies. In goes okra and potatoes once chilies are fairly cooked. Now here, if you are using frozen okra, this process will take longer because frozen okra will have a lot of water in it, so it will take longer for all the water to absorb or evaporate, I suppose. So that takes a little bit longer, but with the fresh okra it will take about 15 to 20 minutes with the medium to low heat. So I'm gonna mix everything really well. Add little bit of oil because I think it does need little bit of oil at this stage. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of oil and just cover it and leave it for good 10 minutes on medium to low heat. So 10 minutes on, we're just gonna check how are we doing here, and it looks like we're doing really well. Nothing is sticking to the pan, but it does look like it needs a bit of oil. So I'm gonna add a little bit of oil and then leave it again for a good 10-15 minutes before we go to our next stage, which is a spices stage. So in 10 minutes 15 minutes, as you can see, cooking really well. So now I'm gonna leave it cook it for another 5 minutes without lid, so all the water can evaporate, if I can pronounce that, and then we will add all the spices. So let that settle in, sit in, I suppose, and then we're gonna add all the spices now. So in the spices, my favorite C3 chili powder. So 1 spoon of chili powder, 1 spoon of cumin powder, and 1 spoon of coriander powder, and a little bit of turmeric, not too much, little bit of turmeric, and that's about it really. That's all the spices that goes in it. There's four spices, that's it. And of course some salt at this stage. Now that okra is fairly cooked, so I'm gonna add some salt here. As you can see, all the stickiness is gone, so I'm gonna add some salt and mix everything really well. Now be careful, or be gentle rather, when you are mixing everything, because you do not want to break the lovely okras. So once the spices are mixed really well, as you can tell by the colors, I'm gonna just let it rest now for a good 5 minutes with really low heat. So just just to bring out all the flavors in the dish, because we just added the spices. So I'm gonna let it rest for 5 minutes, and that's it. When we come back, as we just came back, we just gonna check our potatoes. They are really cooked. They are not mushy, so that's a really good sign. And look at that, there is no water in the dish, no stickiness, so that's really good sign. It's such a nice spicy and a dry dish. You can easily make a wrap out of this. It goes really well with chapati. So there we go, lovely, simple and spicy Bhindi Bhaji. So that's it for this recipe. I hope you really like this recipe of Bhindi Bhaji, and please do try it. And when you do, please let me know in the comment section how it went. And if there is another recipes you want me to try, please do let me know as well, and I'll try to make it simple for both of us. Okay? And yes, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye. Baka bela pindah bagdan.